So hi everyone, a very good evening, and welcome to this midweek market review with me. Guys know me as Geoffrey, others know me as Wall Street Puppy. And I am bringing you the midweek market review. So I released the weekly outlook on Monday. That was the 1st of December. So today is on Wednesday, and this is actually the video here. This was the weekly outlook on Monday. So now this is the midweek, just to give an update or to give updates on the pairs that we talked about. So we had quite a number of pairs that we were looking out for, and majority of them have actually gone into the anticipated biases and directions that we were looking out for. So you can easily come and check it out even here on the public blog. This is at chasecapitalke.blogspot.com, and you can be able to check that out. This is the video as well. You can easily be able to go check that out right here on the blog, and even previous other videos of the various outlooks that we have the various outlooks that I have shared before. All right. So this is the private Discord for members of the Chase Capital community, where I share the outlooks and the videos, and also now the technical analysis in terms of like the setups and how to now, the fine details of how to actually get to approach these setups, be able to check them, your entries, your stops, your take profits, and things like that. So all that is shared on this platform here. This is a private Discord room, right? So now we get into the technical side of things. I'm going to start off with GBP USD, as I had previously mentioned. So here's GBP USD, already moving and cruising very nicely. So this is what we had. We had been looking for potential buy opportunities from this area. So if I refine this like that, so this is what we've been having. Mm, this is what we've been having. So this is a very solid breakout, retest, continuation kind of setup. In terms of supply and demand, we look at this from a rally-based rally. These are rally-based rally scenario. So we had price break above this area. You had price break above this. You had the retest, push up again, another retest before now eventually price pushing to the upside. And the next area of interest I'm expecting to see price come to is all the way to these areas of 1.33530. So reason being, this is the major range that you're working with. From this supply all the way down to this demand. Then from this demand, we are now the breakout above the retest and all the way to this supply. So our entries are within this demand. Okay, the entries are this within this demand. We've already seen a new or a higher high being formed at this area, showing that it confirms the market direction that you're looking out for, which is bullish. And this is the next target that you're looking out for, which is 1 point. The next target you're looking out for is 1.33500 areas. Okay, 1.33500. My target is 530 areas, right? So we have that. Then we come and have a look at this on GBP USD. Then you have Euro. Before I even get into Euro USD, let's have a look at USD CHF, because those are the ones that I'm actively looking at. Before I come into mm, Euro USD. So there is just DCHF. I think I've mentioned about this now for more than a week, that I'm still heavily bearish on this pair, USD and as you can see, we're still pushing to the downside. Remember, our working range has been from this supply level here all the way down to this demand. Then from this demand all the way to this supply, that range was filled. We had multiple rejection wicks with candle closes inside the zone. Then a strong push to the downside, a retest of supply. Before now, a strong push to the downside, another retracement. Then now you're seeing that strong push to the downside. So I'm looking at price coming all the way down to these areas of 0.79 areas for this range to be filled, which is basically back to this demand, which was the origin of the previous rally multiple times. So we have for the rally from here all the way to this supply, then you're from this supply all the way down to this demand, then you're from this demand previously all the way down to this supply. So we've been working within a zone to zone scenario within the same range. Okay. So it's a zone to zone, a zone to zone scenario within the same range. All right. So we have price coming back to these areas of 0.79, 0.79 100 areas. Okay. So there's that. Then, so there's that still holding into this position, and we are expecting price to keep pushing lower. These are the zone even on the daily. On the daily chart, we can easily see. So the price had slightly consolidated, but now you're seeing more momentum. And even on the daily, our rocking range still remains the same. So we're just expecting more momentum to keep pushing lower for this range to be filled, because we've had a very solid range from this supply, this supply. So we had this, then all the way back to this demand. Then from this demand comes all the way to this supply, from this supply back to, so it's a zone to zone scenario. All right, this is a zone to zone scenario. So here again we look for potential bearish push to this. Then you have from here again to that supply. Then you have had from this demand, that supply, from supply to this demand. Right. So this has been a range that we've been working with now from July, and you're still within the same range. So it's more of now scouting for the opportunities and being able to determine what do you expect. So in this scenario, I'm expecting a continuation of the push lower. So we've been looking at it from when price was inside this area. So that's why I'm just like, confidently and patiently waiting for price to come all the way down to 0.79 100 areas. Okay. Then you have USD CAD. USD CAD. So there is USD CAD. Eventually now we've broken below this area. So our previous targets are already hit. So I remember the previous target was at 1.40 thousand. So the working range has been from this supply all the way down to this demand. Then you had a push to the upside, a retracement again, then a strong push all the way to these highs. Then from these supply all the way down to this demand, that range was filled. We had a push to the upside, then a strong push to the downside, and now we've broken below. So what I'm waiting to see is, will you have a push like this, then something like a retracement before a potential continuation of the drop lower, because what I'm looking out for is a potentially weaker dollar. So with a weaker dollar, then I'm expecting prices to drop. So, and if that is what you're looking out for, then the next area of interest will be, first of all, this low, the immediate low at 1.39 thousand. Then there's these areas of all the way to the areas of 1.38, 1.38 100 areas down here. All right. So there's that. Then now you can have a look at, you can see there's more momentum coming in, and I previously mentioned about this from last week, and also did a review of this on Monday. Then we have Euro USD. There is Euro USD. So also for this one is pushing higher. Eventually we've been able to take out these highs. These highs. So currently we are within, we've been able to check out these. We are now currently within these highs. So I'm looking at price coming to these next highs of 1.17 thousand areas. Okay. These highs up here, because now you've seen the break above, the retest, then a push to the upside. So this is the next area of interest, or even now we see price rallying all the way to these major supply, which is now the origin of this whole drop to here. Okay, so that is something to closely observe and see how price reacts to this. So I'm looking at a potential push all the way to these areas of 1.17 for 84 areas, so back to these highs. All right, so but the first area of interest is 1.17 thousand, then the next area is 1.17 for 80 areas, or even for 100 areas. Then you have NZD USD, because I'd also talked about NZD USD. So there is NZD USD. You can see the kind of scenarios that you're forming. So for this one, I'd wait to see price, because I can see there's kind of like a bit of consolidation. So I don't see price rally back to these back to this area. But first, this is more of a breakout retest scenario. So this is a rally based rally. We have the rally, then price from the high base. This is the retracement. Then I'm looking at continuation of the rally higher. So if this one price comes and retraces to this area, you can look out for potential buys. So my working range is from this supply all the way down to this demand. And as from this demand, you have the push to the upside. So you have a breakout retest, then a continuation. So what I'm looking out for is another slight push to the downside before. These are retracement before. Now we see price pushing all the way to the areas of 0.58 thousand areas, because now that is my major area of interest, the level of 0.58 thousand areas. All right. So still very bullish on this. You have multiple confirmations on this. You have the break above the high formed, retest, then another high formed. Now price coming to retrace is just more of giving us an opportunity to actually hop onto this and hold it all the way to 0.58 thousand levels, right? So we have that. Let's wait and see how price gets to react to this. So NZD USD is also giving us some potential opportunities on that. If you come to the 1 hour time frame, you can actually even have probably like some pending orders and pending buy limits here. Then you can be able to comfortably and confidently take that trade and hold it all the way to the upside. Then we can have a look at Euro, we can have a look at Euro pound before I get into the commodities, US oil and UK oil. So I saw price eventually filling this range at from this range from this demand all the way to this supply. Then from this supply all the way down back to this demand, that range was filled. Then now we saw a push to the upside, the first low, then a huge retracement back to this. So if this demand holds, expect to see another bullish push to the upside again. All right, because now our working range is from this demand to this supply back to this demand, then from this demand again back to this supply, like that. Okay, so let's wait and see how price let's wait and see how price gets to let's wait and see how price gets to react to this. Okay, so there's that. Then now you can get to look at US oil and UK oil before I now get into the indices. So US oil so far so good. I can see we had the range was filled because our working range was now from this supply to this demand back to this supply. That range was filled. Then from this supply all the way to this demand, that range was filled. Again, the targets are hit. We saw now price push to the upside. This is the first high. Retracement, then push up. So what I'm waiting to see is a push up to these highs of 61. You have these highs of 61 or even 60.50 areas. Then if price breaks above them, then the major range is all the way to this supply of 61.72. Okay, so we have that. Let's wait and see how price gets to actually react to this. Then after that, we do have UK oil. We have UK oil. So for UK oil as well, the structure is the same. We had the range getting filled, that is from this supply all the way down to this demand and back to this supply, that range was filled. Then now we had price pushing all the way down to this demand, that range was filled. Then you had a strong push to the upside, retracement, then another push to the upside. So what I'd like to see is price pushing at least to these first highs. They have the equal highs here. So that is at about the level of 65. Okay. The level of 65 will be a first target for this. Then if price breaks above, we look at filling the full range to 66.30 areas, which is now the origin of these whole drop that you have. All right. So again, for everyone who understands how I usually trade, these are swing positions that I'm sharing out. So positions you might find yourself holding for a period of time, but it is actually worth the risk reward that you get to make from or you get to take from these setups, right? So you have that. Then we can now hop onto the Nasdaq and US 30. So this is on NAS 100. So for Nasdaq, you can see we have seen price react from these areas here. So these highs, so because we were looking at the first range was from this supply to this structure back to this supply, then from this supply to this demand, back to this supply, then you had the breakout, retest, continuation. So if price comes back to this, we can look out for potential push to the upside because I'm looking at price coming back to these areas of all-time highs. That is 26,200 areas because now this is the major origin of this whole drop back to this. All right. So I'm looking at a slight retracement back to this area. Then you see a push to the upside. Okay, I'm still quite bullish on that. Then lastly, have your 30. So US 30. Mm, hmm. So US 30 as well. You have that. So we've been seeing price push to. We've been seeing price push to the upside. So the major range has been from this structure all the way to the all-time highs. But then now you have the minor range from this structure to the all-time highs, back to this. Then you had now price broke that. You came to this structure. Then you had a breakout above, price came all the way to this, a retracement. So what I'm looking out for is price retracing to this, then you see a strong push to the upside all the way to the areas of 48,400 areas. Okay, 48,400 areas based off this. Right, so I'm still expecting to see price push to the upside. All right, I'm still expecting to see a potential push to the upside, so it's more of just waiting to see the kind of momentum that it will take. I mean, the kind of momentum that it will get, but so far so good. It's more of just waiting for that momentum to keep pushing higher, and we will be good and well sorted, right? So with that, guys, I come to the end of this session. So this is a midweek. Remember, this is a midweek review. So I'll give you the full updates on how these various pairs have performed by the end of the week. Which ones have the target hit? Which ones are we still holding? What do we expect for the new trading week as from next week? But so far, so good. You've seen quite a lot of most of these pairs are actually going into the trajectory that you were previously anticipating and expecting. So it's more of now being able to have the master the confidence and the patience to actually wait for price to get to the respective areas of their target levels. So with that, guys, I'd like to wish you all a very great day ahead as we get into as we step into the month of December. Let's fill it with great vibes, amazing energy, and lots of enjoyment here and there. So let's be part and parcel of a very good time and making great memories together outside the markets and inside the markets. So thank you, guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next one. So cheers, everyone.